Let's just take a couple minutes to take a deep breath or two. And my neck needs some work too, because I ended up getting a crick this morning. You know how cricks are. Crick in your neck, as my father used to say. So moving that head around is probably not a bad thing. Back in the other direction. I've decided for me that I am grateful for my health. But I'm also grateful that if it is ever challenged, that I have a village that will support me.
That's important.
It's kind of a big deal, isn't it? So
Mm-hmm.
just let that neck stretch and those shoulders relax. Okay. All right, let's open our eyes when you're ready. So with all of the unpredictability in my week, as I've been sharing, this is going to be a little different for me. I decided what I really wanted to do this time was I wanted to play around with a single CZT's tangles. You know, we usually when I play in classes, I look at a bunch of different tangles that I think will fit together. And I have found this one CZT that I think is a fascinating one. You'll recall, I'm going to grab this, hold on. I'm going to show this to you so that you know what I'm talking about here. Oh, and just to say, just to rate any size tile, doesn't matter. Any pen that you feel comfortable with, you can use square a little bigger, you can use round, whatever moves you today is going to be fine with this particular set of tangles. How's that? Is that helpful to kind of figure out what you need to have in front of you? Okay. So here's how I got introduced to this particular CZT. Her name is YuRu, R-U-Y-U, Chen, C-H-E-N. Okay. And I learned about her, hang on a sec, be patient with me. When I was working on this, remember when we did the ratoon?
Yeah.
And she's the one who did this tangle.
For heaven's sakes.
And so I thought, remember how I said I loved that tangle because I could just smush it down in there
Mm-hmm.
and it just kind of fit in that space. By the way, don't look at my coloring. I haven't done any of that work after this week. But I wanted to show you the example because I thought it was unique and different and fun, right? So I started looking for more information about her. I'm going to quit sharing for just 1 second. So what that did is it led me down. You know how you can go down a rabbit hole?
Oh, yeah.
Particularly with Zentangle, right? Because you look at one thing and then it leads you to another thing, it leads you to another thing, it leads you to another thing, and then you're looking at this, and then you're looking at that, and then you're trying this thing. Okay. So at one point I thought about quitting the whole idea and saying this was bad thinking. And then I thought, oh, to heck with it. So I have 6 tangles, all done by Ruyu Chen. I'm going to show them to you. 2 of them are really, really simple. So they're kind of like, I don't want to say this way because it sounds disrespectful, but they're kind of like throwaways. You know, they're not going to take a lot of time to learn. The other 4 are medium. So it isn't going to be one of those, oh my God, unless we concentrate with absolutely no distraction, we won't be able to do this. But I wanted to give you a bunch of variety so that then you could decide how you wanted to lay it out on your tile. Fair enough?
Mm-hmm.
I have some suggestions. I'm going to do a tile, and you can follow me if you prefer, or you can do your thing. Does that sound like an okay plan, guys? Anybody want to incite a rebellion, or are we okay?
Always,
No, I
but
accept
not today.
rebellions. All right. All right, I'm going to go back to sharing. All right, so I'm going to start. Sorry about that. I'm going to start with the two hard ones.
Great.
Okay, so we can get them out of the way. So the first one is called Wayward Six. Okay, and that's again how you spell her name. And if you go to YouTube and you put YuRu Chen's and Tangle in, you'll get a cajillion billion videos, etc. All right. Don't worry about the final pictures. I'm going to walk you through the tangle. All right. But I just wanted you to know kind of where you were headed. Fair enough?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So this is Wayward Six. And I'm going to warn you that at certain points in my learning this tangle, I almost threw it out. So just be clear that practice will make it brilliant, okay? There are parts about this tangle. Let me get this stuff out from underneath. There are parts about this tangle that are real similar to other tangles we've done recently, but let me just walk through it. Just follow me step by step, and I think then we'll do it one more time. How's that?
That's good.
So obviously, since this is Wayward Six, you start with a 6. Not hard to figure, right? So that's kind of the core of this, is that that's your initial foundation of the tangle. So the first thing you're going to do, the second line you're going to draw, is you're going to start at the top of the 6. You're going to start right there. And then you're going to come down and you're going to aura the 6 all the way around. So the top is a tethered aura, okay? But then you just come all the way around the 6, just like that.
Is it tethered at the bottom also?
No, it's just an aura around the round section of the 6.
Okay.
And here's the reason you don't want to tether it, Joanne, because now I turn mine because it's easier for me. You do it the way that works for you. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this out the other side like I'm drawing underneath, right? Drawing behind. Just like we did in Ratoon, I'm going to take this side and I'm going to come around like this. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to come around like this, and then I'm going to tether that. Did that make sense? So I've auraed around the 6, and now I want to pull that aura underneath and go to a point on the other side.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool beans. Are you ready for the next step?
Mm-hmm.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to draw like petals would be the word I think I would use. So I like to start up here. I want to make sure you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm gonna, yeah, you can't. And I can't do it the other way. So let's see if I can do this. I'm gonna draw petals, you see? And I'm gonna come down a little bit with each one. And I'm gonna go around my aura. I'm going to stop right about in the middle of the 6, the bottom of the 6. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to go to the other side, the other point, if you will. And I'm going to do that over here as well. And I'm going to come on in. I'm going to stop, leaving a little space in between. Forgive my, what do I want to say? My loose lines. But you get the idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
That basically is wayward 6. That's the base pattern. Okay. But here's the amazing beauty of this foolish little deal. To me, I can create virtually any shape I want. So let's say I want my wayward 6 to go down at the bottom of my tile. So I'm going to put my 6 on its side, right? Now I turn because it's easier for me to aura from the top and then going around, right? But you go the direction that works for you. But I just started with my 6 on its side. So when you think about how you want to use this tangle, think about how you start with that 6. So I want this one to be on the bottom of my tile. So I want it to come out this way. And then it would be even cooler if I just did a little dangly, right? Same exact shape, okay? Same process, different direction. So now I'm going to just go with my petals, each one coming down a little bit, right? Same thing on this side. Now I do my petals best when I start from the point in, because otherwise mine get all wonky shaped. I don't know about you, but same exact tangle, different direction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's say I want to put wayward 6 in a corner. So that time I'm going to put the 6 going in this direction, okay? I'm going to do that same aura, but this time I don't want a whole lot. So I'm just going to do a teeny tiny little exit at the bottom. You got me?
Yes.
So now what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to do my petals. I'm not doing the best job here, but I think you'll get my idea.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to go all the way around my 6.
Hmm.
And then I'm going to go, well, now wait, this looks really kind of bare, doesn't it? So I think I'll just petal all the way. Let's put one more in there. And then let's do something different. Let's shade this in with a little sparkle in the middle. And let's do a sparkle here and ink in the middle of my 6. See the diff?
Yes.
You go all the way around. Okay.
See, here's some better examples when I was doing it. So you got a sideways, you got a flat, I don't know that vertical, horizontal, there we go. And then you got this interesting go all the way around it. Now here's another thing that I saw was you go ahead and you do your regular 6. And then go ahead and make that initial long guy, just like we did for this. And you can tell that the way you make the petals, you control, like you can go straight up rather than curving. You can make them big, little, round. Okay. And then what I saw was somebody who went, well, wait a minute, let's turn it into like a leaf. So they just went down the other side. See what I'm doing?
Mm-hmm.
See how different? So for me, well, maybe I'll show you this, even though I don't want to show you. So here's an example, okay? So I took the bottom of a tile and I did one that went flat, horizontal, and I did two that did vertical.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's neat.
I also started, yeah, it's kind of okay, one that was on a round tile, but I don't have it here, so I can't show it to you. But if you think about it, all you have to do is take your wayward six
Mm-hmm.
and just set it this way and decide, do you want the whole half? Do you want the whole half to be one, or do you want it to be several? You follow me? So just from a simple tangle, that starts with an aura 6 coming out each end, you've got all these different options. Is that making sense?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it gives you, and if you get into color, you then have the option of using this as a gem or with different kinds of shading. So I had a whole bunch of examples and I realized that they're on the iPad, and when I transferred them over, they didn't come through. So I will do some looking when we're done and I can show you some other examples. I just didn't want to be late. Lordy. Is everybody good with that one?
Yes.
Okay, cool beans. The next one we're going to do, I cannot pronounce it. It is QIAD, I'm sorry, O, not D, OER. Okay? It's clearly not an
Choir.
English language. I'm sorry?
Choir.
There you go. Okay, so this one I'm not going to show you the end because it won't make sense. We're going to go step by step, okay?
Okie doke.
So you start with an orb. And out of the orb, you're going to put 6 lines. All right, so you're going to do one this way. And you see I have a slight curve, not a lot, just a little curve, not a lot of curving. And honestly, it doesn't matter which way you curve. It's all going to be okay in the end. And then I'm going to do the same thing. Are you going to Kroger? Okay. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to do 2 more on each side. There we go. Sorry, I lost my track there. So I've got my 6 lines. Yeah, I've made them really curvy. We'll see how this turns out. Okay.
Okie doke.
Can I continue on or?
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to start with this top one and watch first because I've not figured out the words to describe what I'm getting ready to do. So I'm going to take,
Spectacular.
yeah, I know that. I tried to figure out how to say it and I thought, nah, you'll just have to watch. So I'm going to come out from this top point. I'm going to curve toward the other line. So I'm going to come down and curve and come back just a little bit.
Okay.
So it's kind of like I'm going to make a hook. There was the word I couldn't think of. So I'm just going to make a hook off of each line. I don't want to come too close. I want a little space, okay, between my hook and the next line. You can tell I'm not perfect with, they're not brilliantly equally spaced. It's not going to matter. I just hook around. And all my hooks are not the same. So there's one thing it's just kind of letting it go. So that's the next step. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is aura the hook on the inside. So I'm going to just aura all the way around that hook. Was a little skinny. You all right, folks?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Just.
Okay, next up. I'm going to go where the end of the hook, the two lines that are at the end of the hook, and I'm just going to draw straight down to the circle or the orb.
Okay.
You see what I'm doing? Straight down to the orb. Doesn't matter if it's close to the other line. Whatever seems most direct. Okay. I'll wait. All right, you okay?
Mm-hmm.
So the next line we're going to draw is right at the curve of the hook, okay? We're just going to come straight down from the curve to the line next to it, just like that. From the curve to the line next to it. They're not all going to be the same shape, the same length. Depends on where you drew those lines, right? You see where I am?
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing what you can do one line at a time. Somebody had said to me, okay, Peggy, draw that. I'd have said, sure thing, no problem. And that is choir. Now it looks weird, but look at what happens when you shade it.
Ate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The
Okay.
3D comes out.
Exactly. And you feel like it's little curved things around with an
Neat.
inside.
Neat. Really neat.
Okay, so there it is. That's the actual tangle itself. Here's the steps. I will have her step outs posted both under the video and on the resources page. You're stuck with mine right now because I can't didn't do a good job of saving hers, but I will get them up for you, okay?
Okay.
But that's basically the 4 steps.
But the shading is important.
Yes, on this one for sure. All right, are you ready to be crazy now?
Yes.
Sure.
All right, we're going to do a couple easy peasies. We're going to do V-lace. That's what it looks like, okay? It's real easy. So, all of these are hers. She's really an interesting CZT. I really, but I spelled her name backwards at one point. Instead of Ru, I did YuRu. And she's a very intriguing scientist who works in technology. So, just so you know. Okay, you start V-lace, interestingly, with a V. You're going to like this one. This one's simple, simple. Then you do a curved line at the base of the V, and you ink it in. And then you do 2 auras above that. Kind of reminds you of moon pie, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to add, you can add as many lines as you want, but I happen to think 3 is a good number. It doesn't get as tight. So the one time we always say we don't cross lines in Zentangle. This particular tangle she does. She brings her line down right through the 2 auras.
Huh.
And then we're going to put 2 additional ones in between. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Now here comes the fun part. Okay. You're going to use a wiggly line, an up and down line to connect these lines at the top. So watch me first. I'm going to go up and then down, and then up and then down, and then up.
Mhm.
You can go the opposite. You can go down and then up and then down. It doesn't matter. Mine's a little wonky, but wonky is okay. That basically is V-lace. But what people typically do is they aura this wiggly line to give a little different kinds of stuff. Some people do hatch marks above the auras, and then they put it on a stem. So, where's my sample V-laces? They're here somewhere. Like this.
How cute. They look like fans.
Yes, they do. That's it. It's that simple.
Right.
So that's an easy one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do another easy one. This is called core bud. All right, I'm going to walk you through that one. Not on that page, on this page. So it's called core bud. Again, easy peasy one. Just an aura line, a line and an aura. And the way most people most people. The way I've seen this drawn is to think about drawing a C shape. So you kind of go up in the middle between your two lines, go up a bit of a ways, and you're drawing a C down to the top of that line. Then you're going to go to the point at the top of the C you've drawn, and you're going to draw a C to the other line, which kind of gives you a heart, right?
Mhm.
And then what you're going to do is you're going to aura that 3 times. So the closer your aura is, the flatter your heart is going to end up, I've learned. So if you give yourself a little distance, you get more heart. See what I'm saying? So make it a little, what do I want to say? I don't know, dramatic. And you're coming down around with those auras and you're tethering them in at the bottom.
Oh, oops.
You don't have to.
Okay.
Don't worry, you don't have to, because I did my first ones untethered and they look just fine. I've just found that it tends to be better, neater looking when you pull them in to close to the same place. Like, where's my, probably on the back of this that I'm writing on. Nope. Well, I don't know. I guess I'll have to look it up.
You said three auras, right?
Yes. See here, I have done
Mhm.
them tethered and untethered. I've got them really close and then I've got them, it doesn't matter. Either way is fine. The aura or the tangle itself is set up to bring them in a little tight, close to tethered, bringing them down in. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now the last part about this tangle is you're going to put 2 flux on either side, but you want to draw these flux so it looks like they're kind of hanging down, right? So what I do is I have to do it from the side. I can't draw flux any other way. So I draw my curve and then my curve in. And then my line. So I have to turn it because this is how I draw flux. Everybody's different. So I curve and then I curve in. And there is Corbett. Now the cool part about Corbett is that you can shade it from here up, right? And from here over. So you're kind of like going, you want it to go, ring, you know, like it's illuminating,
Mhm.
if that makes any sense. So you're kind of going like this. And then you're going this way. I'm doing this fast, so my lines show more than they should, but you get the idea. So in essence, you're kind of using shading to make a little sparkle.
Mhm.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
And then some people, I've seen some CZTs also shade out here, so it really looks like it's illuminating. Simple, not hard to draw, but kind of cool looking, right?
Mhm.
Simple, simple. Okay, how are we doing?
Good. Good.
Everybody feeling comfortable?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. You want to build or you want one more?
Oh, one more.
You got it. Okay, we're gonna do, which one am I gonna do? Okay, we'll do this. We're gonna do something she calls not forget, which is forget-me-nots. Okay,
Okay.
all right, it starts with an orb, surprise, surprise. Now what you want to do is you want to put 5 orbs around the center orb. So it'll take you practice this because trust me, it takes a little time to figure out how big your orbs have to be. See, like those are 4 already, and that means my 5th one's too big. Okay, you follow me?
Yeah.
So I do a center orb. And 5 around.
6.
And don't do what I did here.
I'm doing 6.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh my. Try again.
So the next thing you do, you can do this with 6. It just means you got 6 leaves. The next thing you do is you do a seed shape in between each of the orbs that you drew.
Seed shape is pointing on both ends, right?
Correct.
I always want to make it round on one end.
I really hate seed shapes because I don't do them very well. So you might not want to not use my example. Okay, I'm going to make this go away because it's in my way. Okay. Just so you know, that's what I'm doing. I don't want to have to draw this all over again, so I'm just kind of making this go away. Okay, pretend it's not there. I'll just get my pen all yucked up, but it'll be okay. Now what you're going to do out from that, hang on, let me get my, here it is. I'm sorry. It fell over. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do kind of a half a hook, if you will, out of the seed shape. And I want that half a hook to kind of end up stopping in the center of that, in the center between the 2 seeds. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go hook, got it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to hook, hook, and hook. You with me?
Yep, so far.
Okay, so now you can see you got a choice. A choice is the wrong word. So now the next step is you're going to connect this hook to the top of this seed. So if I connect it, I'm going to make these all different so you can see your options, okay? I could connect it like that. So it's kind of a rounded petal, right? I could also connect it like that. So it's kind of pointy. Like I could take this one and I could go pointy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You kind of see what I mean by the difference?
Mm-hmm.
That one's whopper jawed, but you get my idea. So you decide, do you want something? This one is not right. This should be more like this. So I kind of ended up with mine being pretty rounded.
Yeah.
And I did here too. But here they're just a tiny little bit more pointy. And here they're really pointy. So it all depends on how you choose to pull out that hook. Let me show you what I mean. So if I do, if I were to come out higher, then I'm going to probably stay more roundy. If I hook up more, I'm going to be more pointy.
Mhm.
So you're controlling how the end result looks by how you hook it. I'm really being loosey-goosey, but you get the idea. And the last little piece that you do with this tangle that makes it look like a forget-me-not is you come up from your orb in between your two seeds, and I do the full width of the orb, and I just come up and make a little curly V, curvy V. And I put a dot at the top. Forget me not. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
All right, my eye itches here. That's it, y'all. This is some examples as well. And again, some people, I have seen this tangle done where they keep everything rounded. So they round the petal and then they point the inside part. I've seen that too. I've seen it both ways. So, you know, go for it. Does that help?
Mhm.
I made a big mess. So now what do you do? Is that what you're saying? This is not good composition, all right? This is only putting everything on the tile so you can see it. Ike.
Mm.
Hmm.
Okay, it's not the most beautiful composition in the world.
Mhm.
All right, but it's just giving you an idea,
The flow.
okay?
Mhm.
Now here's something I want to talk about very briefly, and then you all need to just have at your tiles, okay? And I'll have at mine. This is really Zentangle inspired art, okay? I learned a bunch of tangles and then it's not good art, okay? So don't judge it.
Mhm.
But I learned a bunch of tangles and I put them on a tile in a way that felt artistic. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Traditional Zentangle often will say, we have a string.
Yeah. Mhm.
And here, and this is what they call, I refer to it as the power of limitations, but that's not right. They call it the elegance of limitations. So what they say is, in here, I would only do wayward six, however I needed to do it to fit it in that space. And then I'd start off in here and I do choir. And I just kind of do my little choirs until I didn't like them anymore. And then here I just come up from that and I do some,
V-lace.
yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
So basically, the elegance of limitations is who cares how you lay out the tangles. You just start in one space and you draw a tangle until you feel like you've finished. So if I were going to just draw wayward 6 until I was done, I'd just fill up the space with it and it would come out the way it come out. It doesn't matter. It just the way the pen leads me, if you will. And then here I'll start into my choir and I'll do a bunch of choirs and then I'll say, well, you know, that's enough. And I may move down a little bit. And then here I'll do a bunch of forget-me-nots with a little lace at the top. Do you see the difference?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, does that
Oh,
make
yeah.
sense philosophically?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to do this on a round tile. I'm going to play, and I'm going to use the tangles we just went over. Does that make sense to everybody?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Does anybody have questions?
Nope.
Are you all good to go?
Sure.
Mhm. Yeah.
Cool beans. I like her, and if you search her and see what some of her other stuff is, I think you would really enjoy her. She's fun. She has a quirky sense of tangles.
Oh, you ate the whole thing? No, you didn't.
Heck is all that?
Cool.
Not bad.
I like
Really
that.
like I really like the way this tangle like goes in so many different directions
Yeah.
so easily, you know?
Yeah.
That's just me.
Mm.
More, be one down, bottom or top? Down here.
Dog. Where's my-
I know you can't see as well if I do this, but I can't see if I don't. So I'll turn it off in a minute, but I can't see what I'm doing. Let's see if I can turn it down. Down, down, down.
Mm.
Hmm.
Hello? Yeah. This is not a good time. I'm in a class right now. Could I call you right back? Thank you. I'll get you on this number. What's your name? Corinne, thank you.
Harder to do smaller. Did that one wrong. Eek. Hmm.
Drawing is really lovely.
Oh, thank you. It's Zentangle. It's called Zentangle. Thank you.
10 a.m.
Oh.
Yeah.
I assume everybody's good. If you have questions or want consultation, just yell.
Okay.
We'd be happy to help. Or not, whatever seems the best. We'll leave you be or we'll help you out.
I drew a little bit of attention here. Some middle school kids came up and said, "Oh, we like your drawing."
Ah,
Well, there you go.
we heard
Yeah.
that.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
That's sweet.
Okay, so I decided to just let everything float. Interesting. All right, we'll see. We shall see.
Peggy,
Yeah.
uh, when we talk about Zentangle inspired art, um, what's the view of the people like Rick and
Marie.
Marie? Thank you. Maria, think about Zentangle inspired art versus true Zentangle.
Yeah, there's a lot of debate. There's a lot of conversation going on about that at this point.
Mhm.
And it really is, how do I want to say this? It kind of depends on where you're coming from. Like, there are folks who believe that Zentangle veered off of its original intent
Mhm.
by moving into Zentangle inspired art because you have to pay attention to things like composition and things like color and is it the right place and are you measuring and that kind of was defeats what the original intent of Zentangle, which is that you learn a specific tangle line by line and then you just simply draw it line by line. and you don't care about placement, location, you just go. That's not fair of saying it that way, but when the class that I take, for instance, and I can't show you anything from yesterday because I wasn't there. The instructor very much, she does the class in traditional Zentangle style. She always uses a 3.5 by 3.5 inch tile in black and gray, black and white. White tile, black pen, because that is kind of the start of Zentangle. And she doesn't always create a string, but she does frequently, and then has us work in it. Like, let me show you what I mean. I've finally gotten to the point where I organize things. I know that's shocking.
How many
Okay, so-
hours did it take you? Because I've got,
Oh, you don't even want to know.
oh gosh.
Oh, and I have boxes. This has been 5 years. I have boxes I haven't touched. Okay, so this is a good example, all right?
It's beautiful.
So we had, yeah, but we had a string. And so this was for this, and this was for this, and this was for this. It's not, it doesn't represent anything. So the issue becomes when you get into Zentangle inspired art, are you losing? See, I don't think you are, but the debate is, okay, so here's a good example, right? So you know this is good old Higgins, right? And then Higgins was this section of the string.
Yes.
And then we just built out from the Higgins and then did the learn across the top and the bottom. Now, not everybody's look like this. It's the same thing that we do. Here's a better example. But you see, this is fine and it's great for me for learning, okay? I mean, I learn a lot of stuff by being able to focus on the tangle.
Yeah,
And not on the composition.
exactly.
That's the advantage. But then again, some of them I don't like. Some of them I'd like to be able to get more advantageous. But this was definitely a string.
Beautiful.
Okay, and we pulled. But there's nothing. How do I want to say this? Let me show you one where we didn't do a string. No string.
Mm.
So here we use the tangle as the string, right?
Mhm.
So the tangle itself, so you work in there and then you work around the tangle. Does that help at all, Linda?
It does. It does.
I think it's important from my perspective that we do, yeah, I'm not showing you any more of these. Yeah. Now, we tend to vary, which I like. We do
Yeah.
both.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
dropping things all over. Oh, well.
Thank
And some
you.
of our older, yeah, like this is it, this, whoops. This is a tangle that's art,
Right.
right?
Yes, I love that. Oh,
So
yes.
it doesn't matter. I don't need a string. You
Mhm.
know, the art is the art. That's the point.
I heard that was developed for Ukraine.
It was.
Uh-huh.
It is. It's a Ukrainian. We had when we did this tile, I also showed some,
The folk art.
yes, thank you. The folk art, the Ukrainian folk art it was based on. Joanna Quincy did this tangle.
Yes. I saw that on.
And let's see,
We did that with Hillary a long time ago.
we did indeed.
Same
So
way
it's
you
been
taught us.
Indeed. Indeed. And here you can see the difference between a string, right?
Mhm.
And just using the tangle to create the art. So I don't think, my opinion, for what it's worth, for the 5 cents it's worth, is if you believe that Zentangle art, that doing a tangle, that it takes on a life of its own, right? That you start doing the tangle in a meditative, and the more you get into it, the more you get into the zen of it, you get into a meditative state. My opinion is then it should lead you wherever you need to go. If where you need to go is more structured, then go. If where you need to go is more art and creating something that feels like Zentangle, then go. And I think the reason we have Zentangle inspired art and why it speaks to us and how Nani and I is because it has been created by the Zen. So in my head, they're the same thing.
Okay.
I don't know if that helps. That
It
is not
does.
that is not what the bosses would necessarily say. That's just me. Uh, how's everybody doing?
Doing well.
Okay. Good as can be expected.
Well, that's good enough.
It's okay.
Is that a dog? Hmm.
I guess, let's say it's 10 till. Well, you can see kind of where I'm at. I'm kind of gotten that far.
Just building.
So still putting it together. These are harder for me to do smaller. I don't know if you guys found that, but
Which?
the
Oh, those scrolly ones. Yeah.
what is it?
Wayward.
No, the other one.
You are.
Oh, choir.
Choir. Thank you. Don't know why I can't. I have trouble doing choir smaller. So, and it's hard to do behind, I'm learning. But there you go.
I messed up a behind.
Yeah. But, you know, you get it eventually. So you want to take a minute and so that's my progress. I'll keep working and show you where I end up next week. And when I add shading and if I decide to add color. Is this helpful to hand you a bunch of tangles and then let you?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Bless you.
In case any of you are adding tangles into tangles, one of the things I learned when I did one of the October, what are they called? Inktober's.
Mhm.
Yeah.
One of the things I learned is if you're planning to do that, and I didn't do that here and I wish I had, if you're planning to do that aura, the tangle you've just finished before you start the next one. For instance, had I aura'd here, oh, you can't see what the hell I'm talking about if I'm not sharing. Duh. Had I aura'd all around my wayward sixes,
Mm-hmm.
then when I started to deal with the go-behinds or the on top of each others, you get more distinction between tangles. Like if I had aura'd this,
Yeah.
then when you add your next one in, you kind of make a distinction between them. That's all. Sometimes it makes it look better. All right, I'm done. Just sharing. All right. You guys want to share? Is that okay?
Sure.
Sure.
All right,
Don't
how
have
naughty.
much to share.
Oh, well, so what you got?
Yeah.
So you're first on my screen, how naughty. You got to unmute, baby.
That was always Hillary's excuse.
I know. Well, I haven't done it in a long, long time. So
I like that.
Nice.
cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very nice.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Cool beans. Mimi, do you want to show us? No, you
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. No
How do you
wonder
draw
the
so
school
fast,
kids
Mimi?
A
don't.
lot of, very nice.
It's good.
I didn't do one of them very well, but I'll practice.
Yep, it comes. It comes. It comes. Susan asks, you want to show or not?
Yeah, I can.
Good.
I had to
Oh,
design.
Ooh,
that's
Oh,
nice.
that's kind of
That'd be
neat.
great.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
I
idea.
like that.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
then,
Very good idea.
Cool. I love the sixes.
working, well, it's coming.
Uh-huh. I love it. I love it. Mary Moran, you want to show? You're muted, hon.
Oh, nice.
Ooh,
Oh, cool.
beautiful.
yeah.
That's very good.
That's neat.
Nice.
Like that. Yeah, the
Cool
center is
beans.
very good.
I like it. I like it.
Mhm.
Susan Michelson.
I did it.
Oh, nice. Oh, look.
Nice.
I like that.
Yeah.
I went with the strings.
I like
Yeah,
the way.
see,
Yeah.
I think that it's just a different build process,
Yeah.
actually, is what we're really talking about, is that your build process of the tile is slightly different. But I like that. I love that it
Thank you.
goes underneath like that. That is cool.
Mhm.
It's neat.
Neat. Okay, where am I? Joanne.
Okay.
Man.
I
Don't
didn't
groan.
get very far.
Oh, I like
Oh,
that.
no, I
Yeah,
like
the voice
it.
got
Pretty.
nice.
My
Very good.
wayward sixes are very wayward. No two.
Oh, I
That's
like
the
the
idea.
I love the shading inside the black.
Yep,
That's
yep.
pretty
Yeah.
a lot.
I think that it looks like nothing until you do that. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Huh?
You
Yep.
really need that inside.
I agree.
Yeah.
Idea.
Think it's cool. It does look better even when you shade it. I will say that.
Mm.
Linda,
If we can-
Which,
you,
Go ahead.
okay.
sorry.
Oh,
I made it big.
Oh, I
Nice.
like it.
Neat.
Yeah.
Love it.
I
One
like-
of these
I like the
lines
way
is
it
wrong.
goes.
I'm gonna figure it out by next week.
I don't know that anybody will notice.
Yeah, don't point to it.
Shade enough. Okay, if
Good.
I can't find it, nobody else can, right?
There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's very good. Mm.
That's cool. Marie, do you want to show, honey? Oh, come on.
Oh,
Yay!
Oh,
Yeah.
It looks
That's
great.
Oh, it's a chain.
I
of
like
stitch.
that.
Together.
Yeah,
I like
I
that.
like
Oh, yeah, a
Yeah,
string.
what did they say?
Mhm.
Good job. Mike. hold
Like
on.
this here. Yeah, I like, these are the ones that I did. I couldn't do that one that starts with the Q. I have to practice that.
Yeah, that one is tricky. I agree. Oh,
Anyway.
neat.
Yeah.
I did the other ones.
You did. Look.
With
I
the
love it.
string. Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks.
Janet.
Okay, here we go.
Wow. No, I like that.
Nice.
Oh, now that is
Very pretty.
that
Very
is an
good.
awesome forget-me-not. That
Nice
is
forget-me-not.
wonderful.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
I
like
love the
It was
I
awesome.
like using these as a border. Like I love it
Yep.
on the circle. I
Corner, right.
too. I
The
do.
Yep.
corner works.
I like them in the corners like that.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll make sure that I put up a page with some samples of different ways to different shapes. There we go. Which are neat too. Okay. Anne.
I'm not going to show today.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh,
Terrible. Terrible.
Oh, it's not terrible. There is no terrible.
There's no terrible.
Here, I'll let you confirm.
Oh,
Oh, I
It is
love
not. It's
No.
wonderful. That is cute.
I like the way you did
Very
that.
good.
The dark.
I never would have
shading.
thought of that.
Yes.
It's just,
The V laces too. They have such movement.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
thank
But yeah,
terrible.
don't throw away the
Good
idea.
mention.
It's a very cool idea.
Mhm.
All right, Linda Connolly.
Well, I'm not finished, of course, and I love
Oh,
I love
Oh,
that's
forget-me-nots
beautiful.
are great.
Beautiful.
Graceful.
Yeah.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah.
Pretty border.
The
Mhm.
forget-me-nots all over. I love that.
Yeah.
if you
That's
can see
neat.
my backyard, they're full of forget-me-nots. So
Oh, that is so
wow.
cool.
I want to color them in.
Good
That is
idea.
neat.
I like these. I
Mhm.
like these a lot.
Cool. Gwen.
Okay.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah, now
Wow.
that's a good
Wow.
idea at the top.
Very-
I like
Very
that.
nice.
Nice, nice.
Nice
Yeah.
contrast too.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like the-
Oh,
That is cool. That is what you call a 6.
yeah. I don't, the center of it was like, what the heck do I do with that? And I thought, oh, I'll color it in.
It's
Oh, yeah.
great.
Looks
Okay.
great. And that
I
quiet.
enjoyed that a lot. I like
Good.
the, I really like the equator. I
Yeah.
think that
Yeah.
what the
Yeah,
movement
nice.
that gets is really
Yeah.
wonderful. And I want to do some movement lines around that.
Yeah, for sure. I get you. I get you. I think it is cool. All right. Yes.
Good class,
my
Peggy.
nice-
Thank you.
Thank you, Peggy.
Yeah.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
You're welcome. Okay, next week, if you can get your hands on something round,
Yep.
either a Zandala tile or just cut out a 4-inch round piece of paper to work on. We're going to do round next week.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay?
That's
Other
good.
than that, it doesn't matter. Color, pens, I don't care. It's just we're going to go with round.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Enjoy.
Bye. Thanks.